Insomniac Moonbrain stream, almost 2 a.m. on the East Coast, coming in with the last quarter moon. I realized this is my opportunity because I don't think I'm going to stay up tomorrow, and that'll be it for this lunar cycle. So yeah, I'm here for a little bit. Let's listen to some tunes and watch our beautiful Luna coming up. It's almost exactly 50%, I think like 49.9% right now. Want to hop in and say what's up to Copper Trops. Great to see you. And Frederick Fogg. Nice to see you too. Appreciate you hanging out tonight. And if you're, I know it's late for y'all, for some of y'all, so if you want to just lurk, that's all good too. Let's keep going with the tunes. That was Prism, Dagger, old one. Let's play some Catch here. Start off with some classics. We'll do some inverted moonshots too and see the other side. Darkside.
Residue.
right, that was Catch, and hopping in here to say what's up to Prow and Astralis Ren. Great to see you both. Andrew Johnson, welcome, welcome. So yeah, flipped over the moon so we can see the dark side. Beautiful shot here, I think. Nice little tilt, and at the top you see Mare Imbrium and Proclus and Mare Tranquillitatis, Nectaris, and kind of cutting into Sea of Serenity right there on the left, and really interesting kind of merger of the two cookie halves of our moon. I love it. It's been a while since I've seen this view up close. So yeah, I see Donald Yates. What's going on? This is a nice contrast. I'm digging it. So let's go here for a bit, play some tunes. Welcome everybody. I see I'm not the only one with Moonbrain tonight. I don't know how I could have slept without doing the stream, so that's where we're at. Alright, this one's a new one, a little demo here called Spektra Stratis. Oh, sweet inside. Take a long walk. You read a whole book. And welcome, Anti-Queen. Give us a reason to find yourselves. Just listen to your soul. Take a fine high to the light. Nothing less clear, but it's alright. Take a long talk, recognize home. The way you synthesize, it's all original material. Feel like we overdid it. Oh, and say we don't admit it. Let's just say we overdid it. I know. So don't say you won't admit it. I know. Not if my love is on exhibit. I know that was you. Let's say we're gonna fall in love too soon. And if you give me a reason awesome, all the sinners and the soul, I didn't need this for the night. Always feel that it's alright. Take a long talk, recognize home, synthesize all original material. 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 Fortified essence of earth. Nothing's not human. Fortified essence of earth. Nothing's not human. Nothing's not human. All right, so that was a little new track. So yeah, just let me know original original material. Yeah, just asking what device you're watching the stream on and what you're listening to the music on, and let me know the volume and kind of quality of it all together, if you don't mind. Andrew Johnson says always on mobile or Xbox. That's cool. So Xbox on your TV, I assume, or like a flat screen. And Astralis Ren on your laptop, like really up close, or like sitting at a desk. I guess it's late, right? So maybe watching in the comfort of bed or a couch. All right, looking for a new track here. Let's see what to play next. I'm also taking requests. I'll flip back to the other side of the moon in a second. I was watching a little bit of Orion on the scope, And maybe we'll do a stream in the next few nights where we can see M42, see the Great Nebula. It's been a while. All right, this one's called Desert Fires. Some lacking of what mystery or love. In between the record, I found light had turned to dust. Rockets on the beach, oh, when you just went to leave. I believe what's told, our story carries out. Your breath so inspiring. Oh, it's nothing like you thought it though. One day there's nothing left to prove. All this love we find, falling into face with you. Long enough and I'm gonna lose my mind. Laying out the evidence, we'll cover the shock this time. Lightning is a fire. Say you to love for so long. Oh, like my desert fire. Lights in the distance, I walk slowly up the stairs. See ahead a lion sit alone upon his bed. Oh, fractured beast, I know it's been so long. What time is it? Time is it? I know I will cast sight of it, so go on inform. Oh, sand is like the mind and scattered soul. I let it go. Sigh like I'm all reaching out. I left my home for 7 miles. We trail along for 7 lives. Let the whole heart sing. We're coming to shock this time. The light doesn't fire. Say you loving for so long. Like the desert fire. Like the desert fire. Desert fire. Like the desert fire. Say you burn. Like the desert fire. The desert fire. All right, Desert Fire. I see NGC has joined us. Welcome. Great to see you. And Tetrapodum also. Welcome, friends. And Auntie Queenie, did I say hi? I did, right? Yeah, I did. Thanks for responding to me about how you're viewing the stream. I don't think I've ever asked that before. I know some of y'all have shared it with me before, but yeah. Because I've been kind of watching some of the old streams on my phone, and I'm thinking like, you know, it's not a terrible experience. It's not the best, but it's pretty cool on the phone. But then I watched it on the laptop tonight, and sorry, not the laptop, on my iMac, and it was such a different experience, and I haven't watched it on the big screen in a while. So yeah, so I moved the Terminator equator right now to the middle so we can see it a little bit sharper than all the glowing, and then I'm going to move the moon back up a little bit more. And you can only move the moon with Moonbrain, of course. You have to ask her. Let's see. Donald Yates says, it's like what you talked about earlier. Remind me? The consciousness stuff, the resonance stuff? Maybe I missed your comment. Let me see. I like the shape of the equator. That's what you're saying, right? It's like we talked about earlier, like the interplay between dark and light, or what? Maybe, yeah. Tell me what you mean. So, I was thinking about maybe making this more of a just chill and music stream, but let me know if you have any thoughts on what I was talking about on the earlier Jupiter stream in terms of consciousness and resonance. And I think I'm going to keep doing a few more streams like that with all the different slides. It seemed fun. I watched it in retrospect, and it seemed like a lot more concise than my rambling first stream back. Yeah, that's definitely a nice representation of that dark and light. It's one of the most beautiful, of course. I just love the floating bits that we can see on the left-hand side, just out of pure darkness, like little eyes and a nose. It's like a little pumpkin face. And then you got the string of craters in the middle. I think that's Theophilus, or is it like Theophilus, Katharina, kind of creeping in. I should do some zoomed in shots. It's been a while, but it's all coming back to me now. Very nice Terminator. All right, let's see what song is coming up here. Let's do Think Back Over.
When I think back over your eyes, you're a cornerstone. When I think back over your smile, you're my comfort zone. When I'm in your field, so when I'm in your presence, so when I'm in your field, so no one like you, no two like you and me. I'll buy the song, a song for us to see. No one like you, no two like you and me. But I feel your soul like seas beyond. I never thought I could trap your heart. It's another lifetime, our chain of stars. So I'll be whatever you want, phone whenever I can, hide whenever you go, scream whenever you need.
the first demo of that song. I was like, what is that? Completely haven't heard that in a while. So let's do a little zoomed in tour here while I find a more finished song. Here's Lock It Right In.
Memories of you.
Let's crawl across the Terminator.
Always gonna run in like dawn, starlight kind, moonlight shrine, or right side, or light tone, privilege ships in night's crown, fire like trees, chill like smoke, sign a heart inside shell. Where are you? I've been here so well. It's all a spiral. All I know is everything we think about is gold. Electric soul. Every life you come along, locking right in. Oh, every night it comes about, knocking right in. Oh, every life you come along, we'll fit right in. What you say to life completed, don't you sound conceited. It's all a spiral. All I know is everything we think about is all completed. I know I sound conceited. Light up that winter bread, like iron wants to be red. We sharp like waterfalls, so the words cut harder once. Side vomit, mom and dad, those times ain't coming back. Hard to know just how to feel, and could they ever know peace? Maybe I'll just cut them slack. They work so hard to relax, and when they give their bodies to the sea, I feel the end becomes me. With the end become the solution. Smiles, not confusion. My heart, I release you to the memory of this place. High, stellar far. Song, an analog, and I feel like running.
Well, we got some really nice visibility here. There is a little bit of turbulence every so often, but when it gets crispy, it is looking sharp. I got centered in here at CLAVIUS, with its interesting alignment or spiral of micro craterlets. You can see the crater on the rim of the larger edge, and you can see that it really does have this hexagonal elongated shape. And I want to say it is Patarchus. That's not the right name for it, but to the left of it, you see that very sharp black corner of that higher crater. I don't have my atlas pulled up right now, but I will pull it up at some point. I think it's I actually should pull it up. Let me just make sure what this is. So what's the crater next to Clavius? It's not Rutherford, is it? It's not Rutherford. Well, I'll look it up and figure it out. But anyway, it is one of the most interesting ones because it has a pentagonal shape and a very sharp corner. But you know what I've been saying about the moon for a long time, these hexagonal craters, nested hexagons, side-by-side hexagons and pentagons, as well as pretty much this fractal recursion of larger Mare edges and smaller craters and microcraterlets all exhibiting the same polygonal, pentagonal, dodecahedral shapes. And you realize that the moon is just this recursive fractal, just like any part of nature. And it's not as unknown and mysterious as it's made out to be, which to me is not as, it doesn't rob it of any mystery just because we can understand it better. Want to say hi to Marky Rizzo in the chat. Says, let's see, geez, how long has it been since I started scoping on YouTube? Since 2016. So I remember buying the scope for the 2015, the end of the world in 2015 during September. Does anyone remember that there were like 3 blood moons in 2015, and it was supposed to culminate with this kind of end of the world thing? Well, I think it was September 28th or something. So there was a lunar eclipse, and I bought the scope, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna scope the end of the world. And then the end of the world didn't happen, so I kept scoping, and then I eventually started streaming, I think, like October, November of 2015, and then November, December was like a lot of streams where I got everything set up, and then I caught the lunar Venus transit in early 2016 in April, I think, and that's when Crow sent a whole bunch of people my way, and that's when the channel grew a little bit. So yeah, it's been a long time. Yeah, let's see. Donald Yates says, so many illusions. Are you talking about on the moon or just in life, or elaborate, please? Copper Tropicals, let me know if the mic is sounding a little bit better. On the last stream, I think I was a little bit too loud, so I tried to not overdo it tonight. All right. My voice is a little tired, I know it, but we're going to keep creeping on along the Terminator. I'm going to let it sit at different points so we can let it clear up, but I think it's looking really nice. Clavius, and all the way back, we'll head over to... Oh, no. Jesus Christ. What the heck was that? All right, I lost the moon. I think you can hear the scope go crazy. And I'm going to have to reset this. I think I hit like auto go to a star. So that was pretty stupid. All right, give me a couple seconds here and I'll get it working again. BRB. got it fixed again. So let me know if this is good volume for speaking. I just didn't want to blow out your speakers between the songs. So yeah, just to address what Donald is talking about. Donald says, so many illusions, faces, shapes, contrasting what you talk about with the fractals. When I see other images from mainstream media, it's always smooth and no shapes. So I guess you're talking about the surface of the moon in particular here, which I agree because, I mean, I don't think they change the surface of the moon or those pictures, but I think you typically have just such short snippets of either a 3D render of the moon, you know, or one of the simulation programs of the moon. And that's where they take typical article footage from. Is it's never really a shot of the actual moon from a telescope, which is, I don't know, just odd to me. But that's one of the reasons I actually started doing the scope work. Okay, cool. Thanks for letting me know about the sound. Yeah, so I feel like there's some of that. It's partially what I used to whine about with all the different NASA presentations. Like, I'm pretty sure that all the different missions, you know, are legit. You know, they go to these planets and they take photos, but then in the background of the presentations, you have 3D renders of the stuff instead of actual photos of planets. It's the weirdest thing. Or like when you have a press conference with the about the moon for Artemis, it's all renders. It's like you have to have this perfect fake version of the moon behind you when you can just have an actual telescope from one of your numerous laboratories stream in like a high resolution perfect shot of the moon at any point, day or night. I don't know, it's pretty silly, but that's one thing when it comes to like seeing smooth images from mainstream media, smooth brain mainstream media images. But the other thing I want to say is, like, looking at this right now, I want to say this is if memory serves me correctly, is that like, is it Ptolemaeus? I feel like this is Ptolemaeus that we're looking at. And you can see very distinct hexagonal shapes here, almost like sugar crystals, almost molecules, or nested hexagons like honeycomb, also like slightly, you know, not symmetrical eye sockets. But in a way, it really is like that because we ourselves are grown along filaments. So our eye sockets, basically in between them, have an hourglass shape, this hypotrochoid. And our eye sockets are the centers of a torus ring around our nose shaft, which itself outlines a tube or a wormhole or a hypotrochoid or an hourglass. It's a pinched tube. And you can see it right here. I'm talking about our eye sockets, but you can look at it at these two craters linked, and you can see right in the center, it's this hourglass shape, the eye shape. And then you have the two sides, the two sockets. And so not only do we see faces or periodolia, or like faces in shapes or patterns or clouds or geology, but we see it because we are it. And everything that we resonate with pretty much is a version of what we consider human. That's what I think. So moving over here to this amazing structure, the Apennine mountain range, which always looks like the backbone of a dragon. And mountain ranges do look like the backbones of dragons because backbones of dragons and mountain range peaks are based on the same fundamental geometry. And so that's why I really believe that that's more the reason that we see faces and shapes in nature than it's a pure coincidence or it's just attributed to the fact that, you know, or you're hallucinating or you're just imagining things. Again, that's something I mentioned in the earlier show when I was listening to all these people today, like Bernardo Kastrup and Donald Hoffman and a couple of other guys talk about, you know, about determinism and no free will. They also were not talking about the beauty in the universe at all. Like, none of these talks were like how good things are or how beautiful things are or how incredibly synchronistic things are. They never seem to mention things like that. It's always like, here's the problem, and here's another problem about it, and here, if we could only fix this problem, then the Earth would be okay, and if we could only fix this, then the moon would be okay. And it's just like such a weird negative like premise to just even begin with. So that's what I got out of them, even though they're all very smart, of course. Fantasy, what's going on? Yo, let's go part 2. Manos Mule, what's going on a plane even? FFS just got up. Let's see. Marky Rizzo says, don't get me started with the agencies. Yeah, well, I told y'all I'm kind of leaving things open for Artemis to be legit. You know, I'm open to things. Not that I care about being right or wrong about it. It's like, I'd love us to be on the moon, of course. That's the whole point here. It's like, I like space. I want space to happen. You know, come on, it always has struck me as strange that like let's say Apollo, completely legit, completely real. No other country can replicate this moon landing thing. No other country still. It was the first thing I said on the channel, one of the first things I said on the channel, because I'd like to see it happen. I'm one of those people that's like not going to be bummed out if they make it to the moon. I just don't understand how like one country can get to the moon and then no other country after that can replicate it technologically still till today. But we shall see. So over here I got Plato on the left. Beautiful like alignment and very kind of oblong nature to it, but you know, if we zoomed in you'd see a lot of, I think we counted it once, it was like a not a dodecahedron but a nonagon, right? It had 9 sides. And then on the right hand side you'll see we have Archimedes, which outlines almost like the shape of a comet with the filaments like a little jellyfish. And your Autolycus, and we have the Apennine mountain range tailing over to Mare Frigoris. I missed Mare Imbrium, I have to say. It's one of my favorite parts of the moon. Fantasy says, because we're number 1. America number 1. Yeah, I know. I mean, I'm not saying that that we're not supposed to get to the moon first, but there's no technological achievement on Earth so far that has not been replicated by all parts of the Earth, all countries, all nations. Every single technological achievement except for this one. So, I don't know. It's always been a little bit funny. Tetrapodum says, on point regarding Castrop and the negative attitude. Sounds to me like these guys are plagued by lots of frustration. I think what it comes down to is 2 things. One is if you say you're God or somebody's God, if you actually, I mean, I know I say it very matter-of-factly, and I know how loaded a statement like that can be. But of course somebody can pick my brain about it and I can explain it in more detail. But I think people like him, like pretty much the gamut of these people, don't want to say anything remotely like that because of all the negativity they'll probably endure in their academic circles and so forth. So nobody can really say I'm God, and nobody can really comment on religion in a way that is delicate because they're going to get heat for it. So that's one reason. And then 2 is that I think they are frustrated because I think a lot of people just want to live forever. They don't want the experience to be over. And I think that's part of, part of enlightenment is understanding like how powerful life already is, and that even having one moment to exist is more than anything. You know, the idea of one who knows the universe in the morning can, what was it? If you've had one great moment, you can die well at night, is the gist of it. Astrolysterian said because they don't want to be responsible. Yeah, for their, well, in a lot of ways, right? They don't want to be responsible for saying something out of whack, but they also don't want to be responsible for bringing themselves into existence, because it would mean that they would also be, you know, I don't want to say killing themselves because people can misconstrue that, but we live ourselves and we kill ourselves. Of course, this is the experience, right? That's why we actually have total control over this life. And people choose to decide, you know, choose to view it from the perspective of not having any control, but we truly have all the control. It's always been the way we wanted. I see the volume going down a little bit so I can. It's just where I'm actually talking from. I don't want to just hunch over too much. So yeah, I feel like there's an immortality thing. There's a I want to live forever and I don't want to die and what happens after we die. And then there's another where it's like the hubris aspect where nobody wants to be pointed fingers at and said, you're too cocky. But I don't care what people think of me. So I can say it and, and be right or wrong. It doesn't really matter. Vicky, great to see you. I'm so glad you joined. I was thinking about you. So strange. I seriously was just going through comments on Thunderbolts and thinking, damn, where the hell is TBS? Subs up. Well, I'm here. The short and dirty. Let me see if I can short and dirty it. I lost the my computer fried. Had to buy a new computer. Then everything was in storage, and then I had to set up everything all over again. And each time I do this, it seems like just this kind of exhausting task, I have to say, even though I love doing it. And I don't know where 8 months fly, but that's what happened. So I know everyone left me nice comments, and I haven't responded to anything because everything is on the same machine. So when I finally logged in, it's like a plethora of awesome messages, but also like, where the heck have you been type messages. And I both like, I don't know, I always feel guilty, but then I also realize like I have a life and I have a YouTube thing, and I try and not like let the twain meet if I can help it. I don't know. It's one of those things that keeps me sane. Otherwise, like, I don't know how people do it where they grow a giant YouTube audience and kind of live in that world. But yeah, I do love sharing the moon and some music with everyone, and I will come back every time I can. Yeah, I'm still in Florida. No, I've actually moved. Actually, I've just changed some of the space that I'm in. Living in a different kind of unit. I had to move some stuff, and I don't know. It's been a challenging year, but also good to focus on certain things outside of doing YouTube and social media and like watching the world be set alight. I don't know. At some point, you just have to kind of be appreciative of the mundane and sit and play some chess and sit on the porch and have coffee and watch the moon and do normal things for a little bit. So it's been good doing that and focusing on work. I love it. I was like, here's the quick and dirty, and again, it's turned into a long story, but that's how it is. I missed all of y'all too. Let's see. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I feel like there's a group of these cats right now. Michael Levin and Donald Hoffman and Bernardo Kastrup, and I'm sure there are a whole bunch of other guys. There's, what's his name? Who's the one who goes around on Lex Friedman all the time talking about the mathematics of it all? Weinstein, is it? Eric Weinstein? I think again, it comes down to a couple of things. Nobody wants to be pointed at and said, you're too arrogant and you have too much hubris. And then there's also the I want to live forever mentality, which I see that's, a common natural theme in culture and society. And like, I don't want to be annoyed with anyone for feeling like that's how they want to be. If that's the experience that you want to live and you want to try and live forever, then that's what you want to do. But I feel like that hinders the understanding of the fact that there's nothing to save, there's nothing to hold on to in this existence because you've done everything. It's always been you since the beginning. You've had total control, total power. You built your own body, you have your own experience, and you're the embodiment of everything and everyone and everything that's ever been. And I know how, again, that's also loaded for a lot of people because they're like, how can you know that? And that sounds really religious. And I don't know. I think you can know it by the fact that you look at yourself in the mirror and there's nobody besides you having this experience that you can really point to and say, that's the other. The only thing you have is the self. And the way the self works is with field technology. And so then you can derive, and compound upon that. Marky Rizzo says, I bought a house since east of I-75, so the stars are vivid out there. That's awesome. I want to invest in a scope. I think I would recommend the Next Star 8. I think it's one of the best like beginner / long-term scopes, and 8 is that sweet spot. Same thing with the price point. Definitely. I wouldn't go for a 6 because it's basically the same price, and anything over an 8 is going to be unwieldy for, to start when you first start. So I think an 8, Next Star 8 was a great suggestion if you were to ask me. And so yeah, don't want to talk crap about other people, because I'm actually glad that a lot of people are talking about the morphogenic field, and they're talking about unified field theory, and they're talking about where is the brain. I mean, they're not really, but they're they're at least talking about some things. It is actually really strange, I have to say, that the fact that no one dares even whisper the idea in these conversations, like Lex Friedman, all these things. They spend 3 hours talking, and no one says, wait, do we store memories outside the brain, like outside the skull, like in a field? Like, no one ever says that. So it's always struck me as weird. Like, they say the weirdest other things, and they never talk about these very particular ideas. Or the other one, which is like, who made your body? Who makes your body? Who made your eyeballs? Or like, how do the eyes work? That's a question I'd like to hear them talk about. Do you know how the eye sees? NGC says, I'm back. Everyone is fed and in bed. Awesome. I had to type while feeding chickens. I love it, but I was listening. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just rambling here. I have so much to say about these topics, but I also don't want to oversay things either, because the true understanding of the Zen is to not overdo it and not to say everything too much, like the Shobogenzo. Did I tell y'all that I downloaded the entire Alan Watts archive, and it's such a pleasure to listen to these things uninterrupted, just in a full like playlist? Even though I've listened to them a million times, it's just so incredible how prescient he was and how clear he was on the nature of reality. And even his thought, you do listen, there are a couple of things, and it happens with almost all of the stars that you first see. You're like, okay, first it's Thunderbolt's project, and then you're like, oh, there are chinks in the armor. And then you find Dan Winter, and you're like, oh, he's brilliant. And you're like, oh, there are chinks in the armor. And there's always a chink in the armor. To where you're like, well, I don't really, like, there's something about it that's missing for me. So the same thing ultimately happened with Alan Watts, but the least of all the people. So it's just where and it's only just a product of the fact that he was of a time, where he really bought into the fact that science was all on the same page, and that everyone in science wanted to share information. And of course, we know that not to be true. But besides him, I think, trusting the scientific process a little too much, and what was the other one? He had this fantasy where he talked about how the Earth destroys itself by virtue of nuclear explosions, and that's how stars are formed. And I think in terms of stellar metamorphosis, in terms of Jeffrey Walensky, his theory on how Earths are cooked at the center of stars, and ultimately Earths become, barren moons or Mercuries or, desiccated planetoids that ultimately turn into rubble more so than anything. That to me makes a little bit more sense. So those were the couple of things. But besides that, Alan Watts really nailed pretty much everything else, and it's remarkable that he was doing it almost 80 years ago. Let's see. NGC says, well, someone had to design us, but we grow us. I've thought about that as well. I mean, the original design. But I think that at least the answer that I have for now is that we also did the design. Because sometimes you write something or you do something and you're not really even sure that you did it. You know, sometimes that dissociative order, not disorder, this dissociative feeling comes up when it comes to art. So you make something and then you just detach from it. So maybe we are the designer, but of course, to each their own. You know, we can always have our own opinions on things. All right, let me take a little break here. I think I'll zoom out, and coming up on 2 a.m. Did I say 2 a.m. earlier? It's weird. I feel like the time changed or something. It was like 1:05 when I started. Who knows? Who freaking knows anymore? NGC says, nope, I'd be taller if that was the case. That's funny. I hear you. I hear you. But that's the Yetza Hara, or the wayward spirit, right? The little bit of salt in your stew. So you picked out all the things and you had the perfect NGC going, and then that little bit of randomness came in and messed it all up for you. For all of us. All right. I don't know. What haven't I played in a while? Let's do this one. Full of Life. Quickly to say good night to Vicky. Have a great one. Awesome to see you. And hi to Arum Vorax. Is this that dope electric vibe tune channel? It is indeed. Welcome, welcome. But I did want to point out that I'm not, the irony is, I guess the irony is not lost on me. That I was complaining about people referencing people from 200 years ago, and I'm constantly referencing Alan Watts from 60 to 80 years ago. But I guess I do reference him in terms of Zen teachings because there's really nobody like Alan Watts at all. I feel like he's greater than any scientist we've really ever had. But I think people can disagree with me, I'm sure, about that. But I think overall, holistically, you can go through, he can get you through life philosophically and physically without you ever without ever learning math or physics or anything outside of that. Now, do you get him better when you really understand physics and math? Yes, but I still think Watts got it all. Got it all. Oh yeah, so it was daylight savings. I was like, man, it's crazy. I felt like I was going nuts for a second. So yeah, now it's almost 2 a.m. here. And I know I'm getting a little bit sleepy, but we got this crazy, beautiful moon. And this will be the last one for the cycle. I don't think I'm going to stay up tomorrow. I made sure I wanted to make sure at least I got a proper Moonbrain stream on with y'all. Killer views tonight, if I may say so. You got the Apennine mountain range reaching deep into the darkness of the Terminator. These beautiful chains of craters across the middle. May be good to zoom into Aristarchus in a couple of seconds before I start wrapping it up here. Astralis says, I get it, but the 1960s or even the forming of the United States is not really that old, original, or established, for example. It's true. It's true. It's fine if people reference people from the last 100 years or so or more. I mean, it's just, I think it's mainly that there were other scientists that people could reference, but it's always Newton or Einstein and sometimes Tesla. But we've basically forgotten about Tesla at this point. Okay, let me do some tunes and maybe some zooms. What's coming up next? Dead air, dead air. So I was watching a lot of Jeffrey Walensky's stuff every so often, and I love that he's keeping on. It's really tough. He put this video out about Kepler's law, second law of Kepler's second law, and he got so much trolling. It's ridiculous and so unfair, given that, you know, the stuff that he's talking about is actually really clever and interesting. So give Jeffrey some love if if you can. I don't know. Maybe people disagree with me on that one, but I think stellar metamorphosis is a pretty brilliant idea, and I hope he gets his due someday. Let's see. NGC says, I like waking up to see the moon. It hangs around all morning at this phase. Yeah, I think it's gorgeous in the morning too. I actually have woken up a few times this year, like pretty early, to see the moon. It's not like me, but sometimes it's interesting to do so. Copper says Velikovsky, just no context, just Velikovsky. I still think Watts. I could listen to Watts go on for hours. Velikovsky kind of starts grating on me a little bit. He is brilliant, though. Brilliant guy. Astralis, I'm trying to decipher here. It says, now Watts and many others have their own special teaching style, speaking style, and it's not about understanding science better. I'm saying he's a great teacher of Zen here, but Zen is old, and not his or anyone's. Not that there's anything wrong with using modern reference or anything like that. Yeah, that all makes sense to me. I think that what I think that Alan Watts did so brilliantly is that he was able to articulate the connection between physics and metaphysics, right? This idea of self and other, the relationship between self and other, as well as interpreting other religions and how they view things in this world of contrast and relativity. And then he studied the most contemporary stuff that they were doing in computers and the military-industrial complex and mathematics, and he was at the very cutting edge of all of that. So he's able to really be one of a kind in terms of the way he was able to convey the union or the evolution of technology in conjunction with philosophy and metaphysics, like no other, at least not anyone else I've heard or read. NGC says, I go to bed early and wake up early. Yeah, I realize that I might turn into that kind of person one day, but not right now. Not right now. No chickens to feed. Okay. So let's play a couple more tunes here. All right, the God Fractal. I'm going to zoom in on some Aristarchus.
Play the part. I'll be like you do in your heart. Smile like sapphire, my saffron sun. I'll be like you do. We'll stand upon the shores of war at a golden morning. I've been seeing you around, rolling clear, sparkle, waiting for your crown. You'll see us coming down. I'll be sitting up for you. 17. Couldn't tell you, was living the dream. What could I do for a while I played with you? How could I prove the hidden you without the blues to you? My heart was cool and left residue. Catch you if you fall, catch you if you love. Your look goes high and up, like friends you used to know. Catch you if you fall, catch you when you're low. Gloria, I love when you have me. Take a good look. It's a simulation. Wake up in solitary. Wake up. It's January. Man, don't you know your life is worth more than I love when you have me. Take a good look. It's a simulation. Wake up in solitary. Wake up. It's January. Man, don't you know your life is worth more than Catch you if you fall, catch you if you're low. The look goes high and up, as fast as you can go. Catch you if you fall, catch you if you're low.
All right. So I'm back here. It's funny because I opened with Prism Dagger and then played Catch, and now I'm playing Catch, and you asked for Prism Dagger NGC. So I will play that, but maybe I'll play that as the last song. And that's coming up because I'm getting a little sleepy here. I basically lost a whole hour, and I'm like, why am I so exhausted now? But it's creeping in. I think I'm gonna call it a night very shortly. Yeah, because it'll be nice to just lay down after a long day of scoping and talking. Let me just hop in and say thanks to everybody, Astralis and NGC and Fantasy and Copper Trops and Arum Vorax and Vicky was here, Donald was here, Marky Rizzo, Tetrapodum, Andrew Johnson, Prow, Frederick. Did I miss anyone else? If I missed you, that's cool. I'll be on soon again. And I appreciate everybody listening to all the stuff earlier. Please leave me comments. I definitely appreciate them. And try and come with some questions next time that I can talk about. I always like to hear everybody's opinion about things. It has been a fun couple of days. Thanks, UNGC. Thanks all. Super appreciate it. It's a nice fuzzy feeling. I can sleep well tonight knowing that we've shared this together and everyone knows that I'm alive. So it's good. Let's close it out on Prism Dagger and have a great rest of your night. I'll catch y'all maybe tomorrow, maybe the next couple of days. Definitely something for Jupiter or M42. And the moon next cycle, we'll see. It might be, honestly, till next sort of full moon-ish, you know. But I will be back. And, yeah, let's do this. Bon nuit. Capitan signing off for another ride through the stars. Stay safe and spread love.
Shine through the prison dagger.